So I'm here today with Aaron Deere from Trainee Flair, and what I've asked Aaron to do is to give you a bit of background and insight into where Flair started, how it can be used within the fitness industry and by any learners on Active IQ programs, and also about the future of it, where it's going. So welcome along, Aaron. Thanks for taking some time out of your busy schedule to enlighten us about Flair. So first question really is, what's your kind of background with Flair and Trainee, and kind of where has the kind of development of this platform actually come from?
Okay, so I'm one of the directors of Trainee. So we've got a whole amazing tech team of programmers and developers, and I'm really the domain expert for the fitness industry. So I've got to channel their creative genius into the fitness industry, and the way that Flair's developed is something we saw a need. So it wasn't where we first started. The first product was a management tool for PTs.
Sure.
It was called Trainee Pro, and then there was a client version as well. We won a place on an accelerator program run by Technogym, and when we were there, we kind of realised that we can do more than this. And the standard of education and ongoing education within the fitness industry was always a big issue for me. So we got together and then we ended up developing this tool, which we hope will be able to make things a bit more transparent for both people within the fitness industry and people outside looking for PTs.
Brilliant. So in a nutshell, if you could describe what Flair actually is for anybody who's watching this video content, and how kind of Active IQ have partnered with you guys at Trainee to actually come up with Flair, that would be fantastic.
Okay, so I suppose the simplest description is it's the trust marker for the fitness industry. It's very difficult to know the qualifications a PT may have. It's very difficult to know their prior experience. There is nowhere where you can go to and see this. Flair is that, and through our algorithm we've developed, it melds together experience, client feedback, and education to give a quantifiable score of your ability as a PT.
Yeah.
So it really rewards ongoing education, it rewards positive feedback, it rewards activity in the industry, to really highlight you as a quality PT.
So you mentioned reward. How is that reward kind of a tangible thing from the PT's perspective or the learner's perspective?
So you'll attain a Flair score, and your Flair score is basically your digital currency of your ability as a PT. So someone who's done a master's degree and continued education, the score will be very high and very easy to show people looking for PTs your ability. If you've had a long career, getting a lot of constant good feedback from your clients, it'll also show in your score as you being a very good PT. So it really differentiates between people that have sort of not spent the time in the industry or not spent the time on their education, because at the moment that's a very grey area for someone looking for a PT. They really aren't able to differentiate.
Sure. So what we're almost looking at here then is going beyond almost a registration system that proves that you do hold those qualifications. I mean, from my experience of working with you guys with Flair is that this really is a kind of live, real-time platform, where the score is changing and evolving all the time in response to what the learner or the PT or fitness professional is actually doing out there in industry. And that's something which, has not been seen before in this industry. So that real score, how do members of the public and employers know that score is actually, or how do they understand what that is saying about that PT?
So within our system we have a cumulative score, but we have 3 concentric rings which highlights their experience, their education and their client feedback. So you're able actually to see where they're strongest, and then along with the score. So if you see a PT with a score above 80, there's going to be somebody who's been in the industry quite a while, has a lot of diverse skills in order to earn that score.
Sure. And the score's out of 100,
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
right.
So we're looking at the higher the score out of that 100, the more likely you are to be a more highly skilled, competent practitioner in our industry. Okay, so that's kind of Trainee and the Trainee Pro platform. So obviously, Active IQ, company I work for, we've partnered with you, as I mentioned before, and taking this a step further now and brought it into the world, the kind of world of education and tracking, monitoring the learning journey and assessment. Can you tell our viewers on this channel in terms of what that's looked like, how that's evolved?
Yeah, we were very fortunate to get a partnership with you guys because you're the most respected awarding organisation within the UK. We got together and we thought, how can we integrate this? And we developed a fourth concentric ring around our system, which now is applied to the Advanced Personal Training qualification, which allows the learner to show their progress as they progress through their milestones. Their ring fills up, so they know how much they've got to go in their qualification, and along with that, they're progressively building their Flair score.
Sure.
So once they come out of the qualification, they've got some digital currency to show their value and get them going within the industry.
Yeah. So it's almost essentially like a digital CV as well, I guess, for anybody venturing into the fitness industry or anybody that adopts Flair. It's not only tracking their previous learning history via their qualifications and experience, but also their qualifications that they might be studying on Active IQ programs at present.
Yeah, exactly. And anybody looking for the PT, if you will have to upload all your qualifications. So as you said, it is your CV, but it's your live CV.
Yeah, and you touched on as well that one of the kind of rings which is on the actual Flair platform relies on feedback from clients that the PT or fitness professional might be working with. So could you just elaborate a little bit more on how that influences their overall score?
Yeah, so good feedback is going to help your score, it's going to build it. Negative feedback, and it's going to end up reducing. So there's an element that's missing within the fitness industry, that there's a lack of being accountable for your PT sessions. So if a PT turns up, that they were out until 4 in the morning and they do 4 subpar PT sessions, there is nowhere normally for clients to give feedback, give anything like that. So it's about making PTs a bit more accountable for the product that they're delivering. But then also on the flip side, if we see someone with amazing feedback constantly, someone looking for a PT, that sees you've had this astounding feedback for the last 2 weeks, that may be what brings a new client to you.
Yeah. So in terms of benefits for all stakeholders involved in this industry, really, if we look at those and outline those as obviously the learner, because that's from Active IQ's perspective where we're really kind of focusing on, but also the employer, and then also the wider public, anybody seeking a PET. What are really the benefits for each of those, if you wouldn't mind elaborating?
Okay, so with the learner, it actually provides a quantitative evaluation of the skills and the time they've put into the industry. So a big bugbear has been guys that have had 5-6 years experience. How do they differentiate from the guys that have just done the 6-week course? So this is really a chance to show their value. The second one was the learning organisation. So what we've done is taken their side of the industry a big step forward, because we've digitised everything with qualifications. Previously with level 3 qualifications, even with the level 4 starting, there's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
This now is all by the wayside, with everything being able to be evaluated and loaded instantly online. It makes it so much easier for the assessors, the IVs, the EVs to run their job. And then for the wider industry, once we get a bit more traction within the industry, it'll become the trust marker where people will be able to go to be able to find PTs. Yeah. So we'll create a platform where PTs are able to find clients and vice versa. Yeah. That doesn't really exist at the moment, and it can be done with transparency and it can be done with confidence. Yeah. On both sides of the agreement.
Yeah, and as you alluded to before, in real time, so the adjustment to that score is happening in real time, and therefore I'm guessing if you don't keep on top of your game and deliver the best possible customer service and experience that you can, you're going to get the feedback that reflects that, and that will obviously influence the score. So there's a big incentive for the learners there, the PTs, to go out there and really nail it. session by session.
Exactly. You think in the other industries we have things like TripAdvisor. We want to know about a restaurant. You know, before we book, we may read about it, but it doesn't exist in our industry at the moment. So we're planning to move that forward. You know, in a positive direction to really help PTs and raise the quality of the industry.
Fantastic. Yeah, and that's always a good thing. Okay, so technology is obviously something which, you know, it really appeals to some people, but not necessarily to others. So naturally, there's going to be some apprehensiveness around the adoption of a platform such as Flair. Could you just kind of let our viewers know, you know, what Flair has done to maybe combat that and make it easy for people to adopt and use?
Yeah, I mean, in the fitness industry, I think we're a little bit behind the tech curve, so you know we're a little bit resistant to new technologies. But this is something that's definitely going to make everyone's life so much easier. This is effectively taking a big step forward in terms of operations by digitising it all.
Yeah.
We have a lot of information on our website at flair.fitness on how to use it, and then we're always available for questions, follow-ups, you know, with any questions on how to use it.
Yeah, sure. And obviously, you know, we've discussed, but some of our viewers may not be aware that you guys are willing to you know, go out there and actually help training providers get to grips with the adoption of Flair and actually using it. So what would that involve from your perspective and the requirements of the training provider, for instance?
Yeah, so if you're offering the Active IQ course, we're more than happy to come out and spend some time with your assessors, use your IVs, to actually physically show them how to use the platform, you know, on a workshop basis, because we see this as the way forward. But you know, once we show how easy it is, it'll make everyone's job so much easier and everyone's life so much easier, recording assessments and moving forward.
Yeah. So how do you envisage the actual training provider benefiting from this in terms of their educational processes and enhancing the learner journey?
So it's just going to make things so much easier and speed up the whole process. Instead of there having to be pages and pages and pages for assessors to mark, everything is done through one hub. Once it's uploaded, it's very easy for the IVs to see and the EVs to see, and everything is then automated in terms of sending out emails or notifications for passing or modules completed or sections completed, and everybody is within the same platform. So it's not a matter of missing emails or I have to contact this person or that person. We're all centralising everything.
Yeah. And I mean, and just from my kind of involvement with it really, what we've done particularly for the level 4 PT qualification is we've tried to almost digitise the learning achievement portfolio. So we've taken the assessment paperwork and turned them into essentially files on Google Drive that learners can share with their tutor assessor, and feedback can be given and that then shared back to the learner. So we've tried to kind of, you know, make it as much of a digital process as we can and move away from paper-based assessments. But yeah, good for the environment as well, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're kind of really excited about the future of Flair and where this has the potential to go and how it can change and almost revolutionise the educational processes within the fitness sector. So, you know, from an Active IQ perspective, we're really excited about the fact that we've been nominated for Innovation of the Year at this year's Federation of Awarding Bodies award ceremony. So it just highlights that there is definitely a need for this kind of technology and collaboration between people like ourselves as an awarding organisation and you guys as a technology provider working in our sector as well. So what does it mean to Flair, the team at Flair, to actually be nominated for that?
Yeah, to be new to the fitness industry, it's great to be recognised so quickly for what we've done. It's an area that's really lacking within the industry, and you know, we hope it's something we can make inroads into for the good of the industry and to raise the quality of the service and the product that's being offered.
Sure, brilliant. And we're really excited, like I said, about being on that journey with you. So yeah, it's all looking really, really positive for what Flair has the potential to do. So just to wrap up then, from you know, the team behind Flair, where do you see this going, the bigger picture? What do you see kind of being the future for Flair and how it can really impact the industry more widely?
So our vision is for it to become the go-to place within the fitness industry to find a PT, to find a yoga teacher, even to find a therapist eventually. The upgrades that will be coming towards next year will integrate and give clients the ability to find PTs. And as I alluded to before, it will be a transparent relationship with trust on both sides, and becomes a hub or a portal for the business that becomes essential for PTs to use and clients to use.
And just on that, one thing which we didn't touch on is actually how a learner that's completed an active IQ qualification and has closed down those rings within the platform, they finish their education from a qualification perspective, how do they then take Flair forwards into the industry? Do they keep using it, or does that journey with Flair end at that point?
No, it's the way that we've set it up is there's a straight transition onto our normal platform. So they take their digital score that they've accrued already through the Active IQ course, and then they join our platform, and they're ready to go. Their ability, their scores can all be seen by prospective clients. So it really gives them a foot in the door as soon as they start, to be able to connect with clients and be able to show their ability and how good they are as a PT.
Yeah, and that's obviously free for those learners once they finish the qualification or the course.
There'll be a period, but then they'll move on to the normal model as the other PTs. But it'll definitely give them that foothold to get them started in the industry, and be able to be one of the minority that build a successful career within the fitness industry.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Okay, Aaron, thank you very much for your time and elaborating on Flair for us, and hopefully we get more and more centres adopting it, and then you can start getting all that data that starts driving the development of that platform. So, like I said, we're really excited to be working with training Flair.
Right, thanks, James.
Thanks.